Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John with the Eureka Street Crypto Hub broadcasting live on YouTube this morning. And it is Saturday morning on September 25th, 2021 at 7:07 in the morning. Yes, sir, Bob. This is my video blog, and I talk about all things crypto. This is my raw experience with crypto and my day-to-day journey with crypto. I'm definitely not a professional, not a teacher, not a financial advisor. I'm not even that well versed in the space. I'm just doing what I do, discovering something new every single day, and then popping on a mic and talking about it. Just kind of documenting my journey as I go along, so I don't bug my friends and family about cryptocurrency and be that guy. Hey, did you hear about this new crypto project? At work or at kids' birthday parties or whatever. So yeah, here I am. All right. And I'm not sponsored by anybody, and I'm not shilling anything either. So I'm just talking about things as they are. And I've been doing this since October 24th, 2020. So it's almost a year, 11 months now. So, all right. I just want to get straight into it. I don't really feel like going through all the market. You have access to all these tools. This is CoinGecko.com. Then there's Coin Paprika, Coin Codex, Coin Market Cap is the biggest one, and a plethora of others that are out there. And you can look at I'm not a day trader. I'm just a dollar cost average guy. I put in no matter what because I believe the space is only going up as a whole, even though we've had kind of a rough month. Whatever. September's always a rough month. So it's just me and my banana and my soda water in the morning, and we're talking about some crypto. All right. And we're not talking about really that much about prices. Okay, so let me take the banana sticker right off here, put it right there, save it for my kids. All right. So, let's go over here to my old tweeter and see what we have today. There's some news that Chef Nomi, right here, and not Chef Nomi. Chef Nomi is the original founder. So Sushiswap. I wanted to talk today about Sushiswap, and Sushiswap co-founder 0x Maki steps down as leader, and Sushiswap is an interesting monster. I have struggled to really understand what Sushiswap is for the longest time. I mean, I don't know now. I've used Sushiswap, probably not as much as a lot of people that may listen to the show and whatever, But I was first. I remember last July of 2020. The July before last of 2020, hearing all this stuff going on about Sushiswap versus Uniswap, vampire attacks, and Chef Nomi, and then taking off, and coming back and repenting, and then it was just a lot of drama. Then all these offshoots of all these meme tokens coming out, and all this food tokens. You had pickle, you had sushi, you had all this stuff, pizza token. I mean, everything just coming out, that had to do with food. And I was just like, man, I just work here. I'm fairly new in this space. I was into crypto before the summer of 2020, but I really started learning DeFi tools around spring of 2020. And I was just kind of beginning to get a grasp on them. And then suddenly Sushiswap comes out, and I had just learned Uniswap, and I was like, I don't understand all this, Sushiswap, Uniswap, all these food tokens, all this stuff. I'm just gonna beep, 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 and back out of there. And also right around that time, Yearn Finance had come out with this token that had a low market cap, and it exploded in value, and everything was just getting super confusing to me. So I just stepped back, and I just kind of watched and tried to understand as best as I could while all this stuff was going down. And I was felt like an old crotchety old man, watching these young millennials, and Zoomers sit there and talk about their food tokens. Well, I'm just going to stay over here with the safe ones, like Ethereum and Bitcoin, and yeah. So that's basically what I was doing at that time. Since then, I have had some time to go back and maybe piddle around with some Sushiswap stuff, some of the features on it. I've watched it grow and become an actually significant DEX and a significant project in the space as far as DeFi is concerned. We thought And the world thought that after Chef Nomi had taken off with that Ethereum, and then he came back and repented, and then he just kind of faded off into the distance, that Sushiswap would just be another one of those flash in the pans. And apparently it has not. So recently, Sushiswap co-founder Zero X Maki steps down as leader. In a candid blog post, Sushi's co-founder explained the toll that running the exchange had taken on his personal life. So he always strived for Sushi to be leaderless, and he encourages decentralization as much as possible. Zero X Maki stepped up as leader after Nomi was excommunicated from the protocol. Under Zero X Maki, the exchange blew up. Today is the 8th largest DEX with some 4.49 billion in crypto assets locked up in liquidity pools, according to DeFi Pulse. Sushi has since broadened its product offering to include lending and staking products, but Zero X Maki said that running the protocol took a toll on his well-being. He said, "I put sushi before my physical and mental health, my relationships, my family, and my friends." All right. So sounds like maybe the wife got a little upset, spending a little too much time rolling sushi. All right, so anyway, that being said, I was on Twitter. What really brought me to this sushi conversation, the sushi topic, was that Frog Monkey. He's one of the people in the Bankless DAO, and I follow him on my Twitter. He posted this: considering that I'd only heard of Sushiswap's origin and drama through secondhand accounts, this write-up really sums the story up. Good read, kind of long, easily skimmable. Okay, yes. So Frog Monkey posts really good stuff, and in the DAO, he's a well-spoken person and really knows what he's talking about. So I thought this might be worth looking at. So I clicked on the article, and it is a really good read, and it sums up everything that I saw happening, going on in the DeFi summer without really understanding what was going on in the DeFi summer. So let me make sure that this all looks okay over here. Okay, good. All right. Actually, I could probably zoom this in a little more so you could follow. I'm going to go through this article a little bit and let you kind of understand along with me what was happening in that whole Sushiswap DeFi summer. So let's take a quick look real quick. This is sushi.com. All right. And it is the DeFi app that basically was an offshoot of Uniswap at the time. And if you don't know what Uniswap is, well, we're going to start from the beginning here. And that's why I kind of just jumped into this topic. I was actually supposed to have a guest today, and I have not heard from the guest. So maybe we'll jump on later tonight. Let me just check my score. Yeah, I haven't heard from him. So I don't know what happened. So whatever, that's just, what happens sometimes, and it's okay. Last Wednesday I had a guest that didn't show up either, so it's just what happens. All right, so Uniswap is a decentralized exchange, and they kind of revolutionized what the whole idea of a DEX. I mean, Bancor arguably did it first. They were the OG as far as so trading protocols, trading platforms. They operated on order books where you have a central intermediary, and you have somebody that wants to trade, and somebody wants to sell, and somebody wants to buy, and the trading platform was responsible for finding the matches, and then maybe they would take part of what somebody wanted to sell and split it up and find several buyers for each of those respective parts and stuff like that. But it's all done on order books, and so Uniswap Bancor first, but then Uniswap came along and created a different version of it that relied on automated market makers. And Hayden Adams did this, and he created the code for it, and it's open source, is decentralized. Some would argue about that, but I won't go into nuances today. And that is Uniswap is an automated market maker where everybody pitches in tokens, and say you have a pool, it's 50% USDC and 50% Ethereum. You pitch in 50% each part of those tokens, then those tokens are available for people to make trades and swaps with when they need. And then as the liquidity pool provider, you earn a percentage every single time somebody does a trade. So there is money available for trades. They don't have to find matches and order books and all that stuff. That is how those work. So this is uniswap.org. They've changed up the splash page, and so is Sushi since last time I did. They both look really good. So, anyway, that's how it works. You connect your wallet, up in the corner, your MetaMask wallet, and you hold the keys to your crypto the entire time. You don't have to relinquish custody of your crypto at any point, and so you have complete control over all your trades and then all your contributions to liquidity pools. You can enter and exit as you please, and there is no central entity to hold your tokens for you. So you are in absolute control of all your funds, and that is the amazing thing about DeFi and autonomous finances that have been happening. So as a result, all right, so Uniswap happened. Okay, then came along Sushiswap. Let's go back to this article here, and let me make sure that all this is pulled up. Now let me go back again and zoom it in. Now that I showed you what Uniswap and Sushiswap are and gave you a brief description of it. Okay, so let me go back to the top of this really long article, but I did highlight some key points, and so we'll just kind of go through and talk about this because it is a really good article. So Sushi and the Founding Murder. The decentralized exchange is an anomaly, and it absolutely is. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. All right, so actionable insights. All right, whatever. All right, so Chef Nomi was in the wind, and he had taken the money with him. Just 10 days after founding Sushiswap, aka Sushi, the decentralized exchange pseudonymous founder pulled $15 million worth of Ethereum and disappeared. I'm addicted to these soda waters, and they're probably bad for me. They have like bad stuff in them. Anyway, what followed was the crescendo of 2020's crypto bull run, and in particular, the torrid months known as DeFi summer. Part manhunt, part trial by media, and part murder, the demise of Chef Nomi proved the beginning for something much more consequential, a truly decentralized organization with a stronger community than any of its peers. That Sushi had succeeded not in spite of, but because of its chaotic origins, illuminates what matters when it comes to empire building in the crypto community. In today's briefing, we'll unfurl the saga before alighting on Sushi's current scale and future plans. So yeah, the mark, the plan, the heist, the murder, the aftermath, and the future. Like I said, I recommend you read this article for yourself. It is a really good article. So yeah, I will link all this stuff in the description so you can learn about sushi for yourself. But if you just want to listen to it casually, hey, I'm your guy. All right. So, all right. In July of 2017, a young mechanical engineer named Hayden Adams was fired from his role at Siemens. It was his first job since graduating from Stony Brook, and it must have been a safe place to kick off a budding technical career. Yep. Straight up establishment right there. Suddenly unemployed, Hayden sent the above text to Carl Flourish, a friend embedded in the Ethereum ecosystem. Flourish responded, "Congratulations, this is the best thing that you could have happened to you. Mechanical engineering is a dying field, Ethereum is the future, and you're still early. Your new destiny is to write smart contracts." I'm trying to make myself a career in crypto, and I think it's great. I'm hopefully I can get to this stage, but he said, don't I need to like know how to code? I mean, I'm maybe come around. I'm considering making this same type of move, not get fired, but to dive deep full into crypto. But I'm gonna have to take that spare time and really buckle down and learn how to code. Anyway, Flourish assured him it didn't matter, and it still doesn't matter. You can get into crypto without knowing how to code. Adams could learn whatever he needed to make a dent. Even he must have been surprised by the success of Adams' first project. So 15 months after sending that dejected text to Flourish, Adams launched Uniswap, a decentralized automated token exchange built on Ethereum. Simply reaching that point represented a feat of endurance and ingenuity. Adams had learned to program in multiple languages and forfeited his salary to turn what started as a hobbyist project into a full-featured decentralized exchange DEX. So in 15 months, without knowing how to code, Hayden Adams built Uniswap, the #1 decentralized exchange in all of crypto. So the significance of Adams' innovation should not be underestimated. In creating Uniswap, he and the team succeeded in solving a bête noire of the crypto world, running an exchange without an order book. So a bête noire, if you don't know, it's just something that people always kind of like stayed away from. Like, oh, I don't want to mess with that. That's a huge feat. It's an aversion. It's a task we don't even want to look at right now. But in the crypto world, running an exchange without an order book was something that was sorely needed, and Hayden Adams did it. While the details are eye-glazing for all but the most fastidious of students, the upshot was that Uniswap was able to attract liquidity without centralization. No one had managed this before, at least not with the same elegance. So how did Uniswap do it? So it depends on who you ask. Some have suggested that Uniswap was a fork, with this version 1 borrowing from its rival project Bancor. Adams has vociferously denied that claim. He says in this tweet, Uniswap version 1 is not a fork of Bancor, just a way better automated market maker implementation. Was 10x more gas efficient and used ETH as a common pair, blocked approximately. This is where he's saying that he's blocking all these bots, basically anybody. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to go to that Twitter. Well, crap. Now it's opening Twitter. All right. So he's just saying that anybody that said anything, basically he's saying he's blocking anybody that is a bot. That's basically saying that, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get into that, but he was blocking people that said that he copied Bancor. All right, so perhaps only those present at Unicorn Uniswap HQ on day one know the truth of the matter. Whatever. Either way, I use Bancor. I love Bancor, and I also use Uniswap. So, and Uniswap is the biggest. So what's undisputed is that Adams successfully incentivized external parties to offer trading depth. Liquidity providers deposit tokens into a pool and are rewarded as a result. So for example, if I added Ethereum and Tether to the Ethereum Tether pool, I could earn liquidity tokens, and by doing so, proportional to my contribution, I could earn those liquidity pool tokens by contributing to these two tokens. And as I described earlier, you put 50% Tether, 50% USDC, you're providing liquidity pool, and you earn the liquidity pool tokens as a representation of your place in that pool, and you earn transaction fees every single time somebody trades Ethereum and Tether, for example, and you can put into whatever type of liquidity pool you want. I mean, there are dangers to that, but that goes beyond the scope of this. And this is not the same thing as a governance token. Your liquidity pool tokens are not a governance token. They do not give you a say in the protocol. They just represent your position. All right. So anyway, the plan of Uniswap is crypto. All right. So the law of fluid power. Crypto operates antithetically to extant power structures. Crypto wants power to be perfectly fluid, accruing to contributors according to their value to the community. In this respect, it's not only about decentralization. A perfect distribution of power is not desirable, but relative merit within a decentralized structure. This law sees traditional hierarchies as unearned and legitimate, so it's merit-based. And then similarly, law 2, the law of fluid wealth. The crypto world is skeptical of rent-seeking entities. Organizations that do not provide continuous value and effort, earning under the same rules as every other participant, are often considered compromised. Crypto wants wealth to be fluid, rewarding sustained value creation. Radically, crypto considers users to be an essential part of the creation rather than consumers of it. So again, merit-based in a way. So everything is pretty much merit-based and community-based. So all right, it's going from Web 2 to Web 3. Your take rate is my opportunity. So rather than keeping this fee as a centralized entity would, decentralizers often give it back to users in recognition of their value. So Uniswap capitalized this second law and rising to prominence. Coinbase, Binance, and other centralized exchange not only served as the focal point for much of crypto market, but they skimmed the fees that came from the trade. So Uniswap, yes, it takes a fee, but it passes it to the people that have contributed to the liquidity pools. So I provide Tether and Ethereum in a liquidity pool. I get a percentage of that fees. And that, why nobody thought of that beforehand, it just baffles me. But yeah, okay. By taking venture money though, so they started breaking the laws of fluid power. So they took venture money, and Uniswap, which is that establishment money, the unearned money, Uniswap effectively allowed for some of its platform's power to be captured by interlopers. Much of this may have been simply a matter of perception. That might not have been the actual case, but it was a bad look. So to certain external parties, Uniswap suddenly appeared allied with the establishment. All right, so perhaps a greater violation of Law 1 was Uniswap's governance structure. What the project did give liquidity pools a way to earn, while it did give liquidity pools a way to earn, it did not give them a way to vote. There was no Unitalk token that offered the community a mechanism to voice their opinions in a chart forward. Power was cloistered, captured by a select few. That presented an avenue for attack. So you got these liquidity pool tokens that represented your place, but you weren't allowed to vote or have any type of say-so in the protocol. There was no governance token. So Larry Cermak tweeted, "What if Uniswap could do? What could Uniswap do if some talented dev forks everything, slightly changes branding, and releases a token that eventually distributes approximately 90% of supply to liquidity providers? Uniswap is an absolute beast and has a great team, but what could they do?" That's a very telling tweet. Okay, Cermak posted an intriguing question. What would happen if somebody took the power of Uniswap's automated market maker but added a token? What if the community owned 90% of the project and could determine its future? Perhaps without realizing it, Cermak had outlined an ambush. One lurker was listening closely. Little was known about the person that referred to themselves about Chef Nomi as Chef Nomi, borrowing their pseudonym from Warcraft-inspired game Hearthstone. All right, so one day after Larry Cermak's tweet, Chef Nomi, out of nowhere, says, "Perfect, Sushi Swap is being made. Follow live progress at GitHub. We deliberately made code license. I don't know what I'm Gen Xer. I don't know what WTFPL means. Sushi is good for everyone, not just the Japanese elites. Raw fish are good for your health, but turbo fish are for Rust fanboys." All right. Rust is a programming language. All right, so Nomi chose a playful, endearing name that succeeded in being distinct, Sushi. Mimetically alluring and extensible, that Sushi's name has stuck and informed the nomenclature of all subsequent product launches speaks to that fact. Aside, I wonder how common branding agencies consider emoji availability during their consultation process. Yeah, I mean, look at this. All these are just emojis that were readily available on everybody's phone, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, Nomi chose, yeah, so the playful endearing name. Here's the timeline. So here's Cermak's tweet, and then here's Chef Nomi's tweet for the first time. Sushiswap is founded. And then here on Coinbase Pro, Sushi surpasses Coinbase Pro by volume. And this is just in a matter of like 7 or 8 days. And then DeFi Pulse Sushi reaches the top of DeFi Pulse by total value locked just about 9 days after. And then Chef Nomi takes out Sushi and trades for ETH. And I'll get to that in a second. Originally planned migration date. Here's a what's his name? FTX protocol, Sam Bankman-Fried. And then Sushi finally migrates, and then the keys handed to new Master Chefs. So I kind of gave away the ending here. But in this post, Sushi noted that while Uniswap distributed 0.3% in trading fees to liquidity providers, this only applied to active providers. That means if you stopped providing to the liquidity pool, Ethereum and Tether, you cease receiving rewards. Okay. So, and the reason that it's, Ethereum and Tether is because that was the first liquidity pool. All right, so since then it's branched out to a lot of others. But Sushi suggested that such an arrangement was unfair since it failed to recognize the liquidity providers that had gotten a project off the ground, the original OGs, the Genesis members. To remedy that, Sushi took a 0.25% fee for which it passed to LPs with a further 0.05% given to holders of its token Sushi. Critically, Sushi not only delivered continuous earnings, something Uniswap didn't, but provided governance rights. So you get your rights, Magna Carta, you own the protocol. From day one, the community would have the power to inform the project's direction. Nomi had found the flaw in Uniswap's power structure and exploited it, but he wasn't done yet. He's not only given the liquidity providers rights, but he wasn't done. It takes a special mix of boldness and shamelessness to so blithely copy an existing product. While that can prove a superpower, as mentioned in our discussion of Rocket Internet, Nomi illustrated a particularly ruthless streak in the method that brought liquidity to Sushi. So here's where it really happened. And I've been wondering this whole time, what is a vampire attack? This is a vampire attack. Okay. I know as much in Western culture that copying and pasting is is big. No, you don't copy somebody's product, you know. But over in Asian cultures, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, generalizing or stereotyping or anything like that. I saw this as I was working at trade shows and stuff like this with the company I work for, and I work in manufacturing, and you see people from China over there taking pictures of your products and your competitors' products and stuff like that. And then you'd see 6 months down the road at another trade show, almost identical product sitting in their booth of what you had made or your competitor had made or something like that. And they like to reverse engineer. It's part of their culture. It's what they do. And people here in the West, we're a little more like, so, yeah. I'm not saying it's bad or good. It just is. So, whatever. All right. So, alternately, so, and that's what happened here. And I think that's what happened because Uniswap is more centralized and localized in Western cultures. It has a larger Western culture user base, whereas Sushiswap is a little more worldwide, but more Asian focused. All right. So anyway, alternately called a vampire attack or zombie mining, Sushi's attainment of liquidity relied on siphoning it from Uniswap, a heist in slow motion. Sushi managed this by offering rewards to Uniswap liquidity pools. In exchange for providing their liquidity to 12 sushi pools on Uniswap, liquidity pools earn Sushi token, the governance token. So, with 2 times the rewards for providing liquidity to the ETH sushi market, Nomi outlined that after 15 days, this liquidity would move off Uniswap's platform onto Sushi's own exchange. Now, one detail that I forgot to say is that on Uniswap, you can create your own liquidity pool. So it's not something that anybody decides, they created the Ethereum Sushi liquidity pool on Uniswap. So they went and infiltrated it. So there's a little story here, and this is a great story that kind of helps to explain this. And let me read this real quick. All right, so our target, the Uniswap Hotel and Casino. All right, so all this is fictional. Okay, but it's an analogy. All right, so as everyone knows, the Uniswap Hotel and Casino is one of the most attractive venues on the Strip, known for its good vibes and unusual gambling products. Everyone also knows that the magic behind the Uniswap operation is how to run a casino playbook. The bad news, it's locked in a vault. The good news, the Uniswap shares the passcode online for everyone to see. That's open source software. After snagging the passcode, all we have to do is walk up the vault, type it in, and grab the playbook. Once we have that, we'll know how to run our casino. Saloon of Ultimate Sushi, the Sushi Saloon. Now comes the hard part. We have to convince the Uniswap bookies to come with us. Without them, we won't have the money to offer the same kind of wild gambling as the Uniswap casino. So how do we do that? First, we tell them to try it out. They don't have to go anywhere yet. They can start by offering gambling pools inside the Uniswap casino. Think of it as our mini casino within a casino. So those are the liquidity pools installed within Uniswap. By switching allegiances, the bookies can earn more, even if they decide to stop backstopping bets. They can walk away and still get paid. Pretty good deal, right? But it gets even better. We don't want to just offer gambling within the Uniswap casino. We want to run our own place and turn Sushi Casino into the biggest casino on the Strip. By joining our gambling pools, when we open Sushi Casino in 15 days, they won't just be bookies, but actual shareholders. They'll get to decide how the casino operates and help define its future. And who knows what we'll build together once we have our casino set up. A pool, a theater, a bank. We're making a multiplex for your entertainment needs. And they'll be getting in on the ground floor of that. Sound like a plan? Come on with me. Let's open up the Sushi Casino. All right, so this may not pass muster as a Hollywood treatment, but there's no doubting that Sushi's vampire attack was high drama, not least because it worked. Oh man, just 3 days after launch, Sushi had bled Uniswap of 53% of its liquidity. So all those automated market maker liquidity pools that people have been putting 50% in, they started putting into the Sushi pools because they were getting better returns. And then 2 days after that, it had reached 68%. And everybody was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go over here to this Sushi pool. And you're cool. You're cool. But sorry, man. I'm just going to go over here. All right. So anyway, Sir Mac tweeted right about that point, I'd be getting a little uneasy if I were Uniswap. He said if I was Uniswap, the correct grammar is if I were Uniswap. Okay, so sorry, I'm a grammar Nazi. So anyway, publicly at least, Hayden Adams was unfazed. So all right, he says in his rebuke of Sushi, can't tell who's pretending and who's legitimately doesn't understand that 1 billion total value lock deposited in an incredibly high risk investment on a single day's notice is mostly massive whales. Anyone talking about community versus VC here is either delusionally or intentionally misleading. So he wasn't taking them seriously, and he was scoffing at them, basically. So though a large number of Sushi's liquidity pools did have significant holdings, Adam's criticism didn't tabulate with what was actually happening behind the scenes. Since opening up on August 26th, Sushi's Discord channel had attracted a steady flow of dedicated supporters, many from Asian markets. One entrance was 0x Maki, an adherent that within minutes of joining the chat established himself as the general manager. I am the GM. I'm going to take control. All right, so on the same day of that, that Adams tweeted that Sushi rose to the top of DeFi Pulse's rankings. In less than a week, it had become the largest project in the ecosystem by total value locked. So, some breakneck pace right there. Anyway, so now we're talking about some interesting philosophical stuff. We have Freud to thank for the concept of the founding murder. In Totem and Taboo, the Austrian argued that culture solidifies in the aftermath of a symbolic parricide, father slain by the sons, that serves to release the Oedipal anima and free the offspring. Okay, but I tend to go more towards Rene Girard here. Rene Girard is my favorite philosopher, literary critic, French guy from the 60s, I believe. Anyway, he embroidered Freud's concept. Rather than founding murders following an Oedipal construction, Girard believes that such a killing could occur regardless of a relationship between parties and came from the desire for groups to choose and punish a scapegoat. I believe a guy talking about mimetic desire was on Bankless recently, and he talked about Rene Girard, and I was like, oh wow, that's one of my favorite authors and favorite philosophers. I read Girard in grad school. The book Scapegoat is an amazing book, and he also has another book called Violence and the Sacred and a few others, but the Scapegoat is a highly recommended piece to read. I don't have a copy here. I gave it to my daughter, or I'd show it to you. But anyway, the idea is, in a nutshell, is that any group or society that is stable over the long run probably owes its origin story to a distinct moment of shocking violence. The memory of that violence at some subconscious level helps to hold the community together. No one wants it to happen again. So think of the king's cake for Mardi Gras. The reason for the king inside the cake is because in villages, in order to alleviate violence and to maintain a sense of cohesion and tradition and loyalty and bonding and stuff like that, because human beings in their nature have this need to lash out in violence that builds up over time. People can't be friendly for too long. They have to find a scapegoat. So they would have this king cake, and whoever got the king inside the cake, or back then it was a fava bean, and the name Fabienne or Fabian alludes to that. And whoever got that got to be king for the day, and they got to do whatever they wanted. And then after that day, they were killed and sacrificed. And that purged the violence in the community. All right. So anyway, the effect of the scapegoat bearing society's sins is renewed unity and camaraderie. So because of the shame and guilt and all the emotional torture that act of violence brought about, you get unity and camaraderie as a result of that scapegoat. Death begets vitality. Violence precedes peace. To build Rome, one must first kill Remus. So it would give far too much credit to Sushi's architect to imagine any of these thoughts visited him on the night of September 4th. So now we're thinking about Chef Nomi, and keep the scapegoat analogy in mind. So looking at the Discord, Chef Nomi seemed absorbed with the task of migration, answering a few questions, responding curtly when he did. From the beginning, Sushi had carved out a dev fund. This sub-entity was allocated 10% of the project's tokens as a recompense for the effort of its developers. The idea was that those that brought Sushi to life and improved it would be rewarded. That included Chef Nomi, but while many converts to the platform knew of the fund, few appeared to foresee any issues. Nomi himself had proactively quelled concerns about absconding with funds, noting in the Discord that he was a good guy, quote unquote. He said, "No vesting commitment for me, but I'm not dumping. I'm a good guy." A couple of lines later, he reiterated his position, saying, "But seriously, though, people that came here yesterday know how committed I am." And the events of September 5th proved the emptiness of those words. The day before the planned migration, Nomi withdrew half of the dev funds, Sushi, selling it for $380,000. That wrote the amount to roughly $14 million at the time. Now it'd be a hell of a lot more. Let's see where we're looking at time-wise. Okay. Oh man, I'm over. I gotta finish this. This is such a good story. Anyway, Nomi's move was quickly branded as an exit scam, the practice of taking investors' funds and disappearing with them. The chef didn't disappear, though. Instead, he tried to fight his corner, justifying the decision by suggesting the withdrawal would give him more focus. It made little difference. Crypto's most powerful figures balked at the move. With Sam Bankman-Fried tweeting, Chef Nomi sucks, worse, the community had so organically formed around the project, revolted, furious at the betrayal. And with everything else related to sushi, the fallout happened at a startling pace. The day after his escapade, amidst community pressure, Chef Nomi handed over the keys to the project to SBF. As the FTX exchange CEO noted in part one of the trilogy, it was a time of need type of thing. It was a critical decision at a time when sushi was all at sea, threatening to fully implode. Sam Bankman-Fried proved a safe pair of hands with the authority and respect to protect the project and usher it forward. That stewardship was brought to a formal conclusion less than a week later. On September 9th, Sushi finally migrated off Sushiswap, Uniswap becoming its own exchange. The next day, SBF announced that he had transferred the automated market maker's key over to a selection of new chefs responsible for guiding the community forward. That included Cermak, Robert Leshner Compound, Matthew Graham Asino Global, and still pseudonymous 0x Maki. And then on September 11th, the tale took a surprising turn. Chef Nomi repented, and he tweeted to everyone, I effed up and I'm sorry. He also offered more than his contrition, returning all the 380,000 ETH to the project. It was a move appreciated by the sushi community, recovering some degree of respect for its founder, but it didn't matter. Chef Nomi had been murdered. Metaphorically, functionally, he had ceased to exist in the context of sushi. He was the scapegoat. In back end, and then he just kind of disappeared into back end dev channels, and who knows, he may still be lurking around somewhere, but he's gone in the hall of shame in a way. It is a year to this day that Nomi has vanished. The sushi's still here. That sushi is still here at all is remarkable, a testament to the power of a founding murder to vitalize a community and a budding culture. And so they go on in this article to talk about and compare and contrast the cultures between Sushiswap and Uniswap. And, it's just basically outlines the fact that Sushiswap has a stronger community than Uniswap, even though Uniswap is a stronger protocol. But things like that may change. Since Nomi's departure, the project has relied on members stepping up, in particular 0x Maki and Joseph DeLong. It says it's worth saying that in one respect at least, Nomi has been a loss. Fittingly, from much of what I heard about him in the form of second and third hand accounts, they described him as an exceptional technical talent. So even though he got castigated and scapegoated and everything like that, people look back on him warmly in a lot of ways. So that's pretty interesting. So there was some other people at the beginning, deleted user and control and stuff like that, but Chef Nomi really stands out. Maki described himself as a crypto outsider, so back at 0x Maki, who took over, without the experience to be taken seriously. One source followed the DEX landscape validated that opinion after hearing an early Maki interview. They considered him totally clueless. That's how I feel, So anyway, Joseph DeLong presents a more straightforward profile. He was the other one alongside Maki that took control. Prior to joining Sushi full-time, DeLong worked as an engineer at a crypto company, Consensus, under Joseph Lubin, and searched as a researcher at the USAA's blockchain lab. So he's pretty established. But anyway, Sushi's now has come out with a bunch of new products, the bento box, the miso, and now it's coming out with the NFT platform Shoyu. It might be a really good, I think it could be an interesting time to possibly invest in some sushi type of products. Both bento box and miso were created by members before they were hired by the project to contribute more formally. This is what a truly headless organization looks like at its best, a DAO. Talented individuals spot an opportunity and use their skill to bring something valuable to life without being commanded to, without being asked for, and they just want to grow the project. So here's the things that Uniswap offers, Exchange and dApps, and they do it very well. But Sushiswap offers all this: Exchange, dApps, lending, coin launcher, and NFT platform. While typically matrices like these are used to show where one company lags from another feature perspective, it's hard not to look at this through a different lens. Sure, Uniswap may not have Sushi's range, but it has something arguably more important: direction. There's an irony that a project named Sushi feels spiritually closer to a paella. And if you don't know what paella is, it's a Spanish dish with a bunch of crap all mixed in. So one source succinctly differentiated between the two projects' strategies, stating that Sushi is innovating on product and community engagement, while Uni is innovating on protocol. So Sushi is all about that community. Sushi has established itself as the second largest DEX by volume, 14.8% market share at the time of writing. Trails Uniswap 65.6%, but has remained fairly constant over the past 7 months. What once looked almost like a joke initiative has become a serious player in Sushiswap. So anyway, they talk more about Sushi's revenue. Yeah, so anyway, they're just saying Sushi needs to chart a more clear path forward. But I think with this NFT platform and with the built-in community that Sushiswap has, and NFTs being based on community, that it is pretty compelling. So something to think about. After a historic birth last year, Sushi seems to have sped through childhood, arriving at adolescence and the accompanying identity crisis in record time. So right now we can do this. Lean into Show You. That's the NFT platform. Improve the core, the protocol, and then look beyond the consumer. So they're saying basically what I just said here. Decentralized NFT marketplace Show You is expected to launch a version 1 in November here in 2 months. That represents a rapid turnaround for a significant addition to the platform. NFTs are having a moment. In August, the market leader OpenSea recorded 3.4 billion in volume, 1,000% increase month over month. That's insane momentum and meaningful volume. OpenSea is a dominant player by a large margin, with the Nifty Gateway, the second largest exchange, recording less than 30 million in August. Show You might be able to pick off smaller competitors in a relatively amount of time. So Show You is the NFT platform. If we believe that our 2 laws of crypto disruption extend into the NFT space, Sushi has clear avenues of attack. OpenSea, Nifty, Super Rare, and others capture both power and wealth. Show You can free those because of those 2 laws at the very beginning, based on merit. Lastly, NFTs seem to work best when animated by community effervescence. If there's one attribute that is unique to Sushi, this is it. With a dedicated tribe already in place, Show You could prove a natural outlet for the project's creative energy, as well as a large source of income. Sushi should upgrade its core project. Sushi lags as Uniswap is AMM, so while Mackie and DeLong have presided over a great proliferation of the platform, Adams has focused on improving infrastructure. So the Uniswap has that for it. Sushi is building out, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and so is Uniswap though. So look beyond the consumer. Sushi has become a kind of super app, albeit one with weaknesses. And Sushi should be well placed to embrace professional investors. So interesting stuff. So wherever they are, I believe that Satoshi dreams of Sushi. In its very construction, the Uniswap fork represents the clearest manifestation of decentralization and the remarkable power of crypto to forge connection and galvanize action. Though dramatic at the time, the founding murder of Chef Nomi ultimately fortified those early bonds. As Sushi begins in its second year, holders will hope it adheres to that spirit while demonstrating greater precision. If it can manage to balance both chaos and clarity, it may yet prove to be DeFi's killer dish. So that's that article. It's an amazing article. I highly recommend you go over it yourself. And there's several tweets here and articles about 0x Maki stepping down and taking on an advisory role. Then there's a tweet here of another Sushi product that is coming out that you may want to take a look at, and I will link that where we find my bookmarks. All right, so it is, and then here's some of 0x Maki's exit tweets right here. I hope everyone can reach peace among crypto tribes because we have so much to do in making the future of France more accessible instead of infighting between us. And then here's some throwback and historical moments of Sushi I'd like to share with anybody. It's kind of, here's a Grayscale picking up Sushiswap right here. I'm not sure the significance of this, but it looks pretty cool. There's 0x Maki and a little kind of a cool cartoon drawing of him. And then the French Revolution, Sushiswap leading the charge. And then here's all the other the fighters. So anyway, cool stuff. All right. Well, that being said, it's been I didn't have a guest for today. I had a guest for today, and once again I had to think on my feet, and it's something that I think I do pretty well, and I had to figure out something to talk about. The good thing is that I'm continuously studying cryptocurrency and all the stuff associated with it, and something to talk about. I always have something to talk about in this space, no matter what. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be having another guest on tomorrow, Ivan from the Bankless DAO, and he has a lot of things that he wants to talk about and share with me on. I love having guests on and people sharing their perspectives on the space. It's always super entertaining and super fun, and so yeah, I'll welcome that pull-up from me too. All right, well, that being said, you guys have a good day, and yeah, man, take care of yourself. All right, bye. Awesome. Outro. There we go. There's the right outro.